Good afternoon, friends. Tax season is coming up, and millions of Americans are being urged to prepare before filing taxes in 2024, as several new changes have been signed into law. There are also a few new ways for many low to middle income households to receive more financial aid. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for the latest news. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
I appreciate the opportunity to testify. I'm here today not to talk about new legislative proposal or new scheme to fix our broken budget process. Instead, I'm proposing that Congress simply follows the law that it passed for itself 50 years ago. After decades of recklessness shown by Congress, America now finds itself nearly $34 trillion in debt. Our government's fiscal irresponsibility is the single biggest threat to America. As Congress continues to ignore this threat, the situation only worsens. Earlier this year, the U.S. debt credit rating was downgraded for the second time in a year. This is a direct result of our refusal to address our debt. If we continue this trajectory, the U.S. will have to spend 50% of our annual revenue to pay the interest on the debt within 5 short years. Mr. Chair, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I have made every attempt to assist in the reduction of our spending. I know how. When I ran my own agency in the state of Montana, I reduced my spending by 23%. When I had the authority to make the cuts, I reduced it by 23%. It does not require another committee. It only requires discipline from this body. That's what it requires. Continuing down this path for any longer is completely unsustainable and will cause never-before-seen financial hardship in our country. You can see it on the charts here. Everyone is bringing these charts in. We know what the numbers are. Deficit this year, $1.7 trillion. National debt approaches $200,000 per household. The national debt is nearly at $34 trillion. We just cannot sustain this. Since 1974, Congress has only passed the appropriation bills on 4 times. On time, 4 times. Congress has not passed the 12 appropriation bills by the required deadline at all in the last 26 years. No one can function that way. We need to simply follow our own mandates. And here it is. And we've heard some recommendations about how to change the timelines. But the fact of the matter is, if we followed this timeline and we produced the budget and then had the appropriation committees turn their work in, and they're prepared to do so, they're able to do so, they're capable, then we would be able to accommodate that. Although the Republican majority in the House took much needed steps to reduce wasteful spending this year, I've listened to everybody come before us, but 86% of the proposed spending reductions were prevented on the House floor, not by Democrats, but by Republicans. So please install a mirror in this room so that the people can look at themselves in the eye and see what is causing this problem. 86% of the reductions that we brought forward were defeated by Republicans. We struggled to get 75 to 125 Republicans vote for those reductions time and time again.
As we find ourselves in the lull between Christmas and New Year's, many are now thinking about the impending task of dealing with taxes. Questions about when to file, the deadline, changes in income brackets, and deductions start to loom. First, let's mark our calendars for April 15th, which is tax day. According to Yahoo News, this is the default deadline, unless the 15th falls on a weekend or holiday. In the upcoming year, tax day lands on a Monday. The IRS officially opened its doors for 2022 tax returns on January 23, 2023. However, the date for the commencement of 2023 return acceptance is still pending and has not been declared by the IRS. Now delving into the nitty-gritty of tax brackets, experts know that there is a 7% increase for 2023. Income tax is progressive. It scales with your earnings. Each bracket represents a range of incomes that are subject to a specific tax rate. For those eyeing the standard deduction, it saw a boost of about 7% in 2023. It is now set at $13,850 for individuals and $27,700 for married couples who file joint returns. Additionally, if you are over 65 years old, there's an extra standard deduction, $1,850 for singles or heads of households, and $1,500 for married taxpayers. Both figures rose by $100 from 2022. Shifting focus to the child tax credit, it is a vital financial aid for families with children. It's important to know any new adjustments. For 2023, the credit is $2,000 per qualifying dependent, with $1,600 potentially refundable. Experts have said that this credit can wipe out your tax bill and even yield a refund through the additional child tax credit. To qualify, your child must be under 17 years old, and there are income thresholds. If your modified, adjusted gross income exceeds the limits, $400,000 or $200,000 depending on filing status, then the credit diminishes. For every $1,000 above the threshold, the credit reduces by $50. In 2024, the child tax credit remains at $2,000 per qualifying child, with $1,700 potentially refundable through the additional child tax credit. Also, friends, beginning February 13th, 2024, more than 700,000 Michigan families will receive tax rebate checks averaging approximately $550. Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced the rebates, which will come ahead of schedule, as part of the $1 billion in tax cuts that she signed into law early this year that also decreased taxes on retirement income. The Working Families Tax Credit for lower-income workers, also known as the Earned Income Tax Credit, was increased from 6% to 30% of the federal credit, beginning with the 2023 tax year. It applied retroactively to 2022, meaning eligible Michigan residents can receive both an additional check from their 2022 tax return and also receive the full 30% tax credit on their 2023 tax filing when they file next year. The checks come in February will be the difference between the 6% tax credit that residents received on their tax return and the 30% that is owed to them under this new law. Based on data from last year's returns, Governor Whitmer says that residents should expect to receive an additional $550. Whitmer also says that the legislation had been intended to provide residents with a tax credit earlier this year. Democratic lawmakers had originally proposed $180 inflation relief checks for Michigan tax filers, but were unable to garner enough Republican support for that to happen. This is because the state would have used the $800 million from its general fund to issue the checks. That spending could have averted an automatic income tax cut due to a 2015 law that ties the income tax to the state's general fund. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.